First on 5, it has been nearly 6 months since the Dauphin Island Regatta tragedy. 6 people died in the race last April 25th when that massive storm hit. And there are many sailors who are just now getting up the courage to sail again.
As bad as it was, I didn't know if I was going to survive. I had to find her, though. So.
Well, you might remember the couple from Georgia who almost drowned. News 5 talked to them the night of the storm. Well, they're back here along the Gulf Coast, sailing in salt water for the first time since the regatta, and we went along with them.
With a guitar and a sailboat, Randy Rutledge makes music on the water. He's sailing in bay water for the first time in 6 months.
To the right, I'm anxious to get out there, shake out the emotional bugs if there are any, and get back to enjoying it.
Randy and his fiancée, Rhonda Morgan Gilreath, are sailing Shakedown, their boat that capsized during the Dauphin Island Regatta. They were thrown overboard, Randy with only a blue flotation cushion.
Just said to myself, I may find out what heaven's like today.
The morning of the race started just like today. It was a beautiful day with maybe a little bit of fog. They knew they could have a small rain shower in the afternoon. They never anticipated what actually happened.
Randy, Rhonda Morgan, and 2 friends weren't far from the finish line when the storm popped up. You can see it here on the radar in red, bearing down on Mobile Bay.
As bad as it was, I didn't know if I was going to survive. I had to find her, though.
Soaked from rain and bay water, Randy and Rhonda Morgan recount how they almost drowned.
The waves were so over our head. I mean, you swallowed water, it was just horrific.
At this point, they didn't realize 6 people had died. They floated for 3 hours before help arrived.
I said, Jesus, you've calmed the waters. Calm the waters.
Yep.
And the storm just subsided just enough that I could keep my head up.
Their boat, Shakedown, sank to the bottom of the bay. 18 days later, the crippled boat was pulled to shore.
And she was covered with barnacles. She was brown.
It's taken almost 6 months for Randy and Rhonda Morgan to get the courage to come back to the Gulf Coast since retrieving their boat.
If it was going to have a front come in of any sort, I would not be out here. I just would not take the chance.
But for them, today it's time to put their fear behind.
I've always realized it's wonderful to wake up on the green side of the grass. But now I'm really deeply aware of how wonderful that is.
And I asked Randy and Rhonda Morgan if they plan to sail the regatta again next year, and they both said wholeheartedly yes. We spoke to the Coast Guard sector at Brooklyn this afternoon, and they said they have not concluded their investigation into what happened that day and whether the race should have been canceled. One of the victims, J.C. Brown, was never recovered.